Welcome back to NUIC Football Fanatics. We're heading into Week 8. We had quite a bit of games this week in the current top 10 that played out. It moved some things around as well. There were some big games between Tuscola and Decatur St. Teresa, along with Forest and Lena Winslow. And then even Athens took on a team that was ranked in Class 3A as well. I was really surprised by that Decatur St. Teresa Tuscola score. Holy cow.
Yeah, I was surprised because, all year we've been talking how Decatur St. Teresa is the number one team. Everybody's fighting for second. But, Friday really proved that at this point, 1A, 1 through 10, the way I see it, at this point, it's up for the taking.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I know that St. Teresa held Tuscola a -1 yard rushing. I could not believe that. But I had heard that, St. Teresa was hobbled up with some injuries, couldn't get their passing game going, which led to some of that too. But Tuscola, man, I know they're fast on defense, and they look fast on tape.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me by that score. I'm just surprised that St. Teresa was basically shut down the way they were.
Right. And on the other, further down in the rankings, also the big matchup between Lena Winslow and Forreston. Sometimes what we thought Forreston would have ran away with the game, they didn't necessarily. Lena Winslow kept it close and even had a miscue right on the goal line that, hey, it could have changed the game a little bit.
Yeah, that first half really saw Lena Winslow controlling field positions. A lot of that was based off of their forced errors of Forreston. After their first possession, they had Forreston pinned deep, and Forreston came out. Lena hit their running back on the first play, forced a fumble. Lena's got 1st and 10 at Forreston's 16-yard line, and they went 4 and out, couldn't get nothing going.
Wow.
And then, like you said, they get down to the 1 yard line on 4th and goal, and they fumble it, and Forreston recovered it in the end zone. So Lee Wynn really played really tough there. But if you were to look at the stats, Forreston dominated the stats, but that doesn't speak for what the game really was. That was a very hard-fought game, a lot of good hits, and it took a big play from only 3 yards out, but it was a big play because Lee Wynn blew that play up, and Hunter Dawes just kept the ball, pulled it right out of Christensen's hands, and took off around the corner for the touchdown, and that was the difference in the game. We'll get to the Class 1A state rankings, and we'll start off with my picks here. At number 1, with their win last week, I moved Forreston up to number 1. They are 7-0 with that 13-7 win over previous number 6 Lena Winslow. At number 2, I moved Tuscola up from number 4. They're also 7-0 with that 33-14 win over number 1 Decatur St. Teresa. At number 3, yet again, Ottawa Marquette moves up. They are 7-0 with their 55-0 win over Mooseheart. At 6-1, at number 4, I have Decatur St. Teresa with their loss to Tuscola. I still feel that they're very much a top 5 team despite that loss. And based off of some things I know, I don't think you've seen the last of St. Teresa yet. At number 5, I have Stockton, who is 7-0 after their 44-0 win over Milledgeville, which was their 4th shutout of the season. Still only giving up that 18 points for the year. That's pretty impressive. Number 6, I have Argenta Oriana, who is also 7-0. They beat Sangamon Valley 44-14. At number 7, I moved Lee Wynn down 1 spot. They are 5-2 after that 13-7 loss over previous number 3 Forreston. At number 8, I have Athens. They're again another one that just moved down a spot. They're 5-2. They lost 42-35 to the Class 3A number 8 ranked North Mac. Their 2 losses, if you look at them, are to a 3A school and a 2A school that are both state ranked. Number 9, I have Aquin, who improved to 7-0 with their 34-20 win over Polo. And at number 10, I have Brown County, who improved to 5-2 with their 29-15 win over Beardstown.
Very good. My 1A are as follows. New number 1 team this week, it will be the Forreston Cardinals. Number 2, Tuscola Warriors after their big win over Decatur St. Teresa. New number 3 team for me this week will be the Stockton Blackhawks. Stockton continues to roll their competition. We'll see if they get a test eventually. Number 4 will be Decatur St. Teresa. Like you said, they're still a top 5 team. Number 5, Ottawa Marquette, still hanging tough, undefeated at this point. Number 6, Argenta. Number 7, Lena Winslow, after their loss to Forreston, only falls a little bit as that was a close game. Number 8, I also have Athens. Number 9, Aquin Bulldogs, and number 10 will be Brown County as well. So 6 through 10, we match up pretty much the same. It's just the first 5 we have.
Yeah, and really our whole top 10 is the exact same, with the exception of 3 through 5. We just have a little bit different order.
Right.
Actually, I think it's really just 3 and 5 are the opposites.
Right.
For our panel vote in 1A, we have number 1 Forreston, number 2 Tuscola, number 3 Ottawa Marquette, number 4 Decatur St. Teresa, number 5 Stockton, number 6 Argenta Oriana, number 7 Lena Winslow, number 8 Aquin, number 9 Athens, and number 10 Brown County. So that's your Class 1A state rankings. This takes us over to our Class 2A state rankings. Not much has really changed here. Pretty much everybody won from last week, minus the exception of one team, and I don't even remember who it was that fell out. That's how little it means. At number 1, I have Downs Tri-Valley, who is 7-0. They beat Fisher last week 56-12. At number 2, I'm sticking with Sterling Newman. They are 7-0 after the 36-7 win over Sherrard. At number 3, I keep going with Deer Creek Mackinac, who improves to 7-0 as well after their 35-2 win over Leroy. At number 4, I moved Maroa Forsyth up based off of the competition they faced. They are 6-1. That one loss coming to 3A state ranked Williamsville. They beat Riverton 56-6. At number 5, I also moved Fulton up, who is 6-1. They beat Bureau Valley, who is ranked number 13 in Class 1A, 42-34. I look at the amount of competition they have and the teams that they've faced, and that's why I moved them up based off of that. At number 6, I have EPC. They are 7-0. They beat Amboy 34-13. My biggest drop of the week is number 7. Mendon Unity comes in at 7-0. They beat Concord Triopia 48-20. And the reason why I moved them down is looking at the competition that they play. They're primarily a Class 1A conference, much like the NUIC. But that level of competition that they've played against has not really been up to par, in my opinion. At number 8, I have Hamilton West Hancock. They are 7-0. They beat Monmouth Roseville 50-7. At number 9, I have Anawan Weathersfield, who is 6-1. They beat Cambridge Ridgeview 42-7. And coming in at number 10 for myself, I have Rockridge at 5-2. With their 35-20 win over St. Vincent, Missouri.
My number 1, Sterling Newman again. I think this is the 8th week in a row that I've put them there.
All season, man.
All season. Well, they're good.
They are good.
Number 2, Tri-Valley. Number 3, Fulton, a team that there's going to be a lot of 1A schools disappointed come playoff time because they're probably going to find themselves in 1A. Number 4, Deer Creek Mackinac, followed by number 5, the EPC Wildcats. My number 6 team up a spot this week, Maroa Forsyth. Number 7 for me, as well as Mendon Unity. Like Kyle said, the level of competition really determines where we place these teams. Number 8, Hamilton West Hancock, followed by number 9, Anawan. And filling out my top 10 will be Peru St. Bede.
That's a nice top 10 there. Especially moving St. Bede in.
You like that?
Yeah. I was surprised by that. I mean, I didn't know who to go with between Rockridge, St. Bede, Red Bud. Yeah. There's even Carmi, White County. I mean, they're down there too. They're 6-1.
Right.
For our Class 2A panel vote, at number 1 we have Downs Tri-Valley. Number 2, Sterling Newman. Number 3, Deer Creek Mackinac. Number 4, Fulton. Number 5, EPC. Number 6, Maroa Forsyth. At number 7 is Mendon Unity. Number 8 is Hamilton West Hancock. Number 9 is Anawan Weathersfield. And at number 10 we have a three-way tie between Rock Ridge, Peru St. Bede, and Redbud. So that brings you our Class 2A state rankings.
Not a lot of change.
Not a lot of change really, especially in that top 6, 7, 8. Really, yeah, the top 8 has pretty much stayed the same. Alright, this leads us to our NUIC Power 5. At number 1 I have Forreston. Number 2 I have EPC. Number 3 I'm still sticking with Lena Winslow. Their 2 losses are coming to the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams. And they keep improving on the year. At number 4 I have Stockton. At number 5 I have Ackwen.
Our Power 5s are virtually the same. My Power 5, again, this week hasn't changed, even with Lena Winslow losing to Forest. And, we look at the level of the competition in NUIC. These 5 teams are among the top, and even if they lose to each other, there's really not going to be much switch. But just one more time, my number 1 team, Forest, and following them will be the EPC Wildcats. After them, the Lena Winslow Panthers. The number 4 spot goes to the Stockton Blackhawks, and the Ackwen Bulldogs bringing in the number 5 spot.
And for our panel vote, our Power 5 also remains the same. Number 1, Forreston. Number 2, EPC. Number 3, Lena Winslow. Number 4, Stockton. And number 5, Ackwen. So that recaps our Class 1A, Class 2A, and NUIC Power 5 votes going into Week 8. Of course, there's always that controversy of who's where and whatnot, but that's how we see it, and we look forward to seeing the Week 8 state rankings when they come out on Tuesday or Wednesday. Thanks for watching this, and as always, root for the NUIC.